Hey everyone, welcome back to Ontario Gardening. So today we're doing something a little bit out of the garden realm. We are just doing up some canning and we are using sweetened condensed milk, one ingredient to make some caramel. So you can do this straight in the can. If you put these cans in boiling hot water for 3 to 4 hours, pop the lid of the can, you're going to get the same effect. What I want to do is I'm going to put them into mason jars so that I can have these shelf stable, put them on the shelf to use for later. Because once you crack this can open, you have to use the whole thing within a week. Putting them into these littler jars is going to help me to put them on the shelf. And before anyone gets concerned about it, this is already shelf stable. So we already have everything we need in here if I just was to throw this on a shelf for a couple of years. So it already is shelf stable, meaning I can recan this and it would be safe. So because I'm canning it, I am going to put it, you can choose whatever size jar you want. I have chose like half a jam, so these of the jam jars. So this would be, I guess, a quarter pint. It's 125 milliliters. These are going to be perfect to crack open and just have a couple of scoops of caramel at a time on whatever it is you're making, ice cream, pancakes, whatever. This also makes for great gifts if you're gifting this caramel sauce. So same process as you would do in the can. I am going to put these jars into the canner after I have filled them all with the sweetened condensed milk. So I'm going to go to about this line here, about 1/4 inch head space. These are sterilized. I'm going to put on a canning lid, a band, and you're going to throw it into water that is not hot, not boiling, not anything. If I go and put this cool condensed milk in a cool jar into boiling hot water, they're probably all going to crack and break open. So you have to put these into your canner, and I will show you, while it's cool, and slowly bring it up to temperature. So everything's off right now, but let's just get these into the jars and then we'll go from there. So I can't tell you what this recipe makes because it all is going to depend on how much you want to make. So I have 4 of these cans of the condensed milk. They're 300 milliliters a piece. Sorry for my American friends. I am in Canada, so we measure usually in milliliters as opposed to ounces. So that means that these are 125 milliliters each. These are 300. I'm going to get 2 of these per can. So I have 4 cans, so that means I'm going to be able to get 8 jars. I have 9 here because I should have a little excess from each one in order to make a 9th. So if you were doing full jam jars, full half pints, of course you're going to need more because this is only going to do 1, right? So this would do 1 pint. I hope that makes sense. I'm the worst at explaining math. I can't even do my math myself. So let's put these all in the jar. Let's get our lids on. We'll pop that into the canner and we'll go from there. I should mention before we get all excited, once we've put all of our condensed milk into the jars, you do want to take a wet cloth or a wet damp rag and wipe the rims before you put that lid on, just to make sure that there's no gunk in between the seal and it's not going to mold in between the seal and everything's going to seal up properly, similar to like you would with any other canning. So as you can see, they're all full. I have wiped the rims and now the lid goes on top, band goes on fingertip tight as to avoid siphoning of the lids. And we're pretty much ready to put them in the canner. And like I said, we're gonna drop this down into cool water, turn it up to high and get it to a boil. Once it hits a boil, we are going to time this for 3 hours. And then we'll check on it to see if it's changed to the color we want. The one thing I want to caution, I have filled my pot up just about half high. We're submerging it quite a lot, more than normal when you're canning. Usually you only need about 1 inch above the lids. With this though, because as you boil, water evaporates, we want to make sure that there's always enough water in here to get it boiling. So anyways, I would check it about once every hour in the 3 hours to make sure that it is submerged still, everything has enough water, and that you haven't lost all your water to evaporation. So we're gonna get this started. Once it gets to a boil, I'll start the 3-hour timer, and we will see you in 3 hours to see what it looks like. We're looking for a nice dark caramel color, and if you want to leave it on for that extra hour, if it's not quite the color you want, we can do it once we hit then. But let's go do that. See you in 3 hours. And here we are, 3 hours later. We have our jars of caramel. So again, super easy. Condensed milk into your mason jar, clean the rim, put on a lid, and bath for 3 hours. We will talk to you soon. Bye.